चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So today we shall be continuing from the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, second chapter, text number 13. So the perfection, the topmost perfection in Varnashram is being described in this verse. Atapumbe duja shrishtam varnashrama vibhagasha sonushitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshnam. O best among the twice born, it is therefore concluded that the highest perfection one can achieve by discharging the duties described for one's own occupation according to caste divisions and orders of life is to please the personality of Godhead. This is actually one of the very important verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Just quickly. So, it says, Atha Pumbe Duja Shrishta Nashama Vibhagasha Swanishtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritosham. The purpose of the division of the society, Varnashrama Vibhagasha, means the division of the society which is created. It has only one purpose. Everybody following their duties, Swanishtitasya Dharmasya, means everyone faithfully or loyally follows their dharma or occupation duty. The perfection of that dharma is measured by how much one has satisfied Lord Hari. Samsiddhir Haritoshnam. So if the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hari, is pleased or satisfied, that is the perfection of one's execution of occupational duties. Now, human society, this is how the Vedic culture used to be divided. And currently also we do have the burned remnants of this classification, which is actually reflected in a very perverted form. The society used to be divided into the four varnas, that is the four social orders or four castes, and four spiritual orders, four ashramas. The four varnas are the Brahmana or intelligent class, Kshatriyas, martial class, and Vaishyas is productive caste, Shudras is laborers. And then again, in terms of ashrams, we have student life, that is Brahmacharya, household life, that is Grihastha, Vanaprastha, retired life, and sannyasi is supposed to be living a fully dedicated devotional life. These are the four and four ashramas. Just to briefly explain, the purpose of varna or the caste is to do the administration of the society in a very effective way. Everyone contributes to the society. So Brahmanas, they effectively contribute by giving wisdom, whatever wisdom they learn from scriptures, whatever wisdom they have imbibed through these scriptures, they share it with the society. In return, society maintains them. Similarly, Kshatriyas, they do the necessary administration, because in every society you will find there will be some unwanted elements, some criminal-minded people who will try to create harm for the society. So the duty of Kshatriyas is to keep them under control and do the administration of society properly. Regulate everyone's mode of activities, especially prevent people from becoming too much greedy or lusty, and try to perfect their life by following faithfully the duties of each and every order of life. The Kshatriyas, they used to enforce the law. You say law enforcement agents. They were called Kshatriyas. And then Vaishyas, naturally had the inclination to produce. So they would produce all the necessities of the society in terms of food, in terms of clothing, in terms of finances. They would take care of everything. Krishi Go Raksha Vanijyam. Krishi means they will produce the food and all the necessary things related to the upkeep of the body. Go Raksha is essential for providing the ingredients for the yajna. And Vanijya is banking. So they would do the providing for the basic necessities of society. And laborer or Shudras would simply act as the assistants of the three classes. Brahmana, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. They would be served by these Shudras. Don't have much intelligence. And in turn, the higher three classes would maintain their Shudras, who would act as their servants or the faithful servants, or you can say assistants. Their whole family would be taken care of by the upper three divisions. So this was all for the upkeep of the function of the society. But functioning of the society is not an end in itself. The functioning of the society is for some purpose. And that purpose is served by the 4 ashramas. So all these 4 varnas, they have these, division in terms of 4 ashramas. Of course, every varna may not have all the 4 ashramas, but all the 4 varnas do have some ashramas. Brahmanas, they may gradually evolve through all the 4 ashramas, Kshatriyas through the 3, Vaishyas through the 2, and Shudras simply go through 1 ashrama. But Shrama means the ashrama is the place where there is austerity performed. And austerity is always for the higher purpose. Not like, modern society where they, the politicians especially, they do austerity. They will do dharna, they will do anchan, but it's all for the purpose of some getting their political agenda fulfilled. But that's not the ultimate aim. The purpose of life is supposed to be achieved through these evolvement of 4 ashramas. And let's see how it was achieved. Student life, for example. The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, their children, they will all accept the Brahmacharya life. So they would go to the Gurukul, study under the guidance of Guru, and strictly follow the principle of brahmacharya. They would be trained to control their senses and at the same time study the scriptures to understand the aim of life. And after some time, when they graduate from the school, from the Gurukul, then they may accept the household life. Generally, Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, they would accept the household life. Shudras, they directly accept the. Could you put yourself in mute? Thank you. So, all the four ashramas, all the four varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they would accept the household ashram, the Grihastha ashram. But the Brahmanas had an option to skip the household ashrama. Generally, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudra, they would accept necessarily the household life, but sometimes Kshatriyas may also skip. But generally, the Brahmana had option. If they do not want to accept the household life, they could directly adopt the sannyas life, skipping the middle two ashrama, that is Grihastha and Vanaprastha. Because Vanaprastha is the following ashrama for the Grihastha. So retired life is only a follow-up after the household life. When a person accepts the household life, he has household duties. At a certain time, he is supposed to retire from those duties and again prepare himself for the devotional life. So Brahman had that option to jump from the first ashrama, brahmacharya, to directly go to sannyas ashrama. Mostly everyone else would go through the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. They would actually accept the household life. And after living in household life, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, it was mandatory for them to also accept the retired life, the Vanaprastha ashrama. Generally, Vaishyas would not accept the retirement. They would stay at home only. And generally, Kshatriyas would die as Vanaprasthis. But Brahmana was expected to accept the devotional life, the sannyas ashram. So sannyasi is considered the guru for all the four varnas and ashramas. Because sannyasi is generally a Brahmana who has evolved through all the training and study of the scriptures and also has realized the subject matter of the scriptures. As we're reading in today's verse, the purpose of all these four varna and ashramas and the respective duties that they follow in those ashramas and varnas is to satisfy Lord Vishnu. So sannyasi is supposed to be accomplished in the realization of that knowledge. So this is how the typical human society used to function. It's a very scientific division. Now the aim of Varnashram is to mainly please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Hari. The Varnashram institution is constructed to enable one to realize Hari. It is not meant for competitive spirit. The Brahmanas think I am superior than everyone else. Kshatriya thinks I am most powerful and therefore superior than everyone else. Vaishyas think because I provide all the necessities for everyone, therefore I am the best. When we have this kind of mentality, then there is a revolution. If you see in our modern history, different revolutions, they are nothing but a competitive spirit between these different varnas. For example, French Revolution. It was mainly the revolution of the administrative class, the kings revolting against the priestly class. It's just like you know, the Kshatriyas thinking why we should be subordinate to Brahmanas. When Brahmanas, they are simply puffed up. We'll be seeing some example in the Srimad Bhagavatam also, especially in the first canto itself. We'll see how the Brahmana Shringi, he was so puffed up that he thought Maharaj Parikshit was like a dog. He literally speaks the words for Parikshit Maharaj that this watchdog, how dare he comes inside the home and he's demanding water from my father. So this mentality exists, in puffed up, Dvija who are actually the fallen relatives of the twice born or the higher classes. So when a person is born in a high class family, but doesn't behave like a high class, but plays like a low class person, that person is called Dvija a relative of high class people. He's not a high class. He's not a Brahmana, Kshatriya or Vaishya, but he's just a relative of those people. So Shringi was one typical example of that. He was puffed up and proud. He had audacity to speak about a great Rajarishi like Maharaj Parikshit, referring him to be a dog. Of course, in Vedic culture, Kshatriyas, they do the duty like a dog, like a watchdog. They actually protect the society. They literally work like the watchdogs. But that doesn't mean that you call them watchdog. It's actually a very derogatory remark. So we see there's French Revolution. And then we had, what was another revolution? The communism. Communist revolution was nothing but Shudras revolting against other higher classes. Why you people should have more? Why we should be dependent on you? Everybody should be equal. So Shudras revolting against, the upper classes of the society. And right now we have this capitalism where Vaishyas practically rule the whole world. All the big corporates who are nothing but the greedy, uncontrolled and greedy Vaishyas. And this mentality used to be regulated by Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas used to enforce laws, especially on the Vaishyas. But of course, the Kshatriyas were not themselves uncontrolled. They would live at the cost of Vaishyas, put heavy taxes from them, and then live the life of self-indulgence. That was not the job of Kshatriya. Kshatriyas also used to be Raja Rishis. They used to live like Rishi, but they were Raja, they were kings. And therefore, the society could actually function in a very great harmony. And especially in Varnashram system, the upper two classes, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, if they used to fulfill the purpose that is being studied in today's verse, if they were dedicated for pleasing Hari, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then they could actually rule the society and guide the whole society in an appropriate way. But when that aim of life, which was actually to please the Supreme Lord, to understand first of all our identity, who we are not this body, but we are spirit soul, we are part of Krishna. When that aim was missed, then one automatically develops attachment for sense enjoyment. And then the whole Varnashram institution becomes like a Asuric Varnashram. It is simply utilized for selfish purposes, where there is a tremendous competition between all the classes of men. The Brahmanas trying to dominate, Vaishyas trying to dominate, Kshatriyas trying to dominate, Shudras trying to dominate, and the overall result is chaos. Chaos and quarrel among the society. So therefore, those who are actually the saner section of people, those who have some sanity of the mind, they know it that the divisions of caste and orders of life, they are actually meant for smooth social functioning of the society and dedicating the human energy for high thinking to understand who we really are, what is our relation with God. That's called high thinking. So if few Brahmanical people and few Kshatriyas, they collaborate together after understanding and realizing this purpose of administration of society, if they collaborate together, they can actually create a tremendous impact on the society. Actually, in Varnashram system, the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas, they always worked in tremendous collaboration. Kshatriyas, they had power and they had sufficient intelligence to do the administration. But they were always guided by the senior section of people, which were Brahmanas. And they were always subordinate to Brahmanas. So actually this is the sum and substance of the today's verse, that the purpose of Varnashram is mainly to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when that purpose will be missed, what we will have is actually Asuric Varnashram, full of competition amongst the different Varnas. So I think we can stop if anyone has any questions.
Prabhuji, can you, I missed it. You said the Brahmanas can skip the first ashrama, and, but they have to mandatorily go through the sannyasa ashrama, right? And the Kshatriyas can skip the first. Can you repeat that?
Nobody
Prabhuji?
skipped the first ashram.
Okay. Can you?
All the four varnas, not four, the three varnas, the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, they go through Brahmacharya training. Except Shudras, everyone else goes through Brahmacharya training. So Brahmacharya training was must for all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas.
Okay.
The Brahmanas could skip the middle two ashramas, that is Grihastha and Vanaprastha, and they could directly jump to sannyas. That's sannyas order. Like we know Madhvacharya, at the age of very young age, he accepted sannyas. Shankaracharya accepted sannyas at very young age. They never got married. So they have the liberty to directly take from Brahmacharya to sannyas ashram. But in general, the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they must accept household life. Sometimes Kshatriyas would also skip, the household life, but mostly Kshatriyas would also accept the household life. And Vaishyas have to accept the household life. Question of not accepting household life. And the Vaishyas would just stay as householders, but Kshatriyas were expected to retire at some point of time, retire from the household life. Like, we hear Pandavas retire finally and they go to forest. And you will hear mostly all the Rajarishis, they would retire and they would go to forest. You hear in Bhagavatam, so many Rajarishis. So they would retire and they would go to forest. And Brahmanas generally would accept sannyas, but Kshatriyas generally would remain as Vanaprasthis throughout the remaining portion of their life.
So the only sannyasa is for Brahmanas, right?
Yes, only Brahmanas will accept sannyas order.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is Varnashram Dharma is now applicable now in this modern society?
Well, the Varnashram is a, what do you call, say, framework. Bhakti Thakur refers it as a framework. Say for example, if you have a framework, it becomes very easy to do anything. Like, in technology, I know, working in technology. So in technology, if you have a framework or anything you're trying to achieve, the things become very easy. The framework means you have the whole structure built. All you need to do is just place the different things inside and everything functions very smoothly. Like, say for example, take a more example which everyone can relate to. You see all these big companies who construct the homes like Lennar or different companies, right? They, when they construct the homes, they take a typical model. So model means they have all the ingredients for that model, the framework for the model already cut and ready. So when they say, okay, we are going to build this particular model of home, they get the whole package. Everything comes. First comes the wood for creating the framework. And then they get all the ingredients in just appropriate quantity to finish the work. How much drywall would be there, how many windows would be there, everything is fixed in that model. So that is called framework. So the framework is already built that. In this case, the framework would be the model. Whichever model you choose, that is the framework. So it's much easier. All you need to do is just bring all the ingredients and put it together. So similarly, Varnashram is actually a framework. When you have the different people in the society with different inclination, when they are placed in that framework, the whole society functions very smoothly. Prabhupada gives example, just like in modern society also, we do have Brahmanas. Who are the Brahmanas? The people who are interested in teaching others. And you'll find Brahmanas in every walk of life. Some people study engineering, but after studying engineering, they don't practice engineering. They actually become professors because they have that inbuilt tendency to be a teacher, to be a Brahmana. So they love to become professor. Those who especially seek to become professor, they are actually Brahmanical inclination because they like to teach. They don't mind even if they get a little less pay, but they want to teach because that gives them job satisfaction. That's Brahmanical tendency. It's inbuilt in a person. Somebody may, become graduate from the law, but then he becomes a law, professor. Doesn't like to practice the law. So professors in the college or school, they're nothing but a typical example of Brahmana. Of course, they don't follow exactly the Brahmanical life. They have tendencies of Brahmana. So teachers, they're a typical example of Brahmana. We have teachers in the society. Then we have administrators, like the politicians, the law enforcement agencies. They're all nothing but typical example of Kshatriyas. Because Kshatriyas do the administration of the society. Just imagine, many times we don't realize, most of the people even don't have the idea, those who actually go into politics and study that. But suppose you're living in a town, any town, you go to any part of the United States or in this country, you go to any state, go to any city, there is so much, systematic administration. Like I can go to any store and the ingredients in the store are available. I can go to some grocery store and buy the groceries. Groceries are available in abundance. I can go to some, home improvement store and buy all the ingredients for improving my home. So getting all those ingredients from the different parts of the world requires a lot of logistics, lot of laws, lot of taxation rules. Somebody is actually working, taxing a lot of brain so that we should have facility and all the ingredients available. I can simply go to the store and buy the ingredients, but somebody is actually doing a lot of logistic and planning behind it. Every time I open the tap in my home, the water is flowing. But there's a whole department of administration to make sure that every home has sufficient water flowing. I have 24 hours electricity available. Many parts of the world you go, people don't have electricity available. I remember in our childhood, we used to have very often electricity go away. I used to live in Mumbai city still. So many times the electricity would go away. But here you have electricity available. Somebody is working behind it. So there are administrators, Kshatriyas, they actually work. They plan and work that all the facilities necessary of life are provided to everyone. And they engage the Vaishyas to provide all the necessities. Kshatriyas do all the work of, providing to everyone. Vaishyas mainly produce, but Kshatriyas, they do administration of everyone receiving the necessities of life. And Shudras, they simply are assisting the society. So we do have these 4 classes still in the society. And it's not possible to get away from this Varnashram. But the only thing is when the Varnashram is practiced as per the Vedic direction, then it actually becomes very fulfilling in one way. Fulfilling in the way that that everyone gets an opportunity to understand the purpose of life and go back home after God. That is missing now. Varnashram will always be there. We cannot get rid of Varnashram. Sometimes it is seen in a perverted form, but Varnashram is always going to be there. We'll always have the teachers class, we'll always have administrators, we'll always have merchants, Vaishya class, we'll always have laborers. We'll always have student life, household life, retired life, and there may be very few, rare, but there will always be sannyas or devotional life as well. So we cannot get rid of these Varna and Ashram. But when they are practiced as per the Vedic direction, then they bring the real fulfillment of life.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay. So I think we can stop here. Thank you very much, everyone.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
So Janmashtami is coming in 2 weeks. So
Yes, ma'am.
maybe next week, can we talk more about Krishna, the class,
Sure. Sure.
so that we are mentally preparing for,
Sure.
Janmashtami? We can talk about
Yes,
it.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. Pancha.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam.
No, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.